If a man is already in a relationship, whether married or committed, and still seeks you out, you need to understand one thing with absolute clarity. You are not his plan A. You are not his happily ever after. You are the detour, the distraction, the momentary thrill he seeks to escape from the weight of the life he's already built. You are not the destination. You're the pit stop where he fuels his ego and rests his cowardice before going back to the comfort of what he refuses to fix or walk away from. When a man steps outside of his commitment and turns his attention to you, it's not because you're so special that he had to risk it all. It's not because he suddenly realized you're the one he should have been with all along. It's because he's broken somewhere inside. He's weak in his discipline. He's reckless with emotions, and you just happen to be available at the right time to play the wrong role. He's not offering you love. He's offering you drama in disguise. He's not choosing you. He's using you. Let's call it what it is. A man who seeks another woman while he's committed is not a man who's being romantic. He's being selfish. He's not running toward you with passion. He's running away from responsibility, accountability, and growth. You are not the rescue team. You are the refuge he hides in so he doesn't have to deal with the consequences of his own actions. And if you let yourself be that, he will stay with you just long enough to feel good again and then disappear back into the life he never planned to leave in the first place. Every conversation he has with you is laced with excuses. She doesn't understand me. We're just roommates now. It's complicated. And the minute you start believing that nonsense, you start losing sight of your own worth. You start confusing attention with affection, time with intention, and desire with devotion. You start thinking that the way he texts you late at night, sneaks in quick calls during the day, or shows up when he feels guilty is love. It's not. It's manipulation. It's distraction. It's a game where the rules are always in his favor, and the scoreboard is always in your loss column. Because while you're investing emotions, time, and hope into something built on lies, he's just buying himself peace. While you're wondering if he'll choose you, he's calculating how to not get caught. While you're imagining a future, he's just enjoying the moment. That man isn't torn between two women. He's settled in comfort with one and playing pretend with the other. He's not sacrificing anything. You are. You're sacrificing your standards, your energy, and your future for someone who wouldn't even introduce you in public, wouldn't stand up and claim you, wouldn't risk a thing for you. And that's the truth too many women try to dress up with hope. The moment you start thinking, maybe I'm different, is the moment you need to stop and check your reality. You're not the exception. You're just next. He's not changing for you. He didn't change for her. He's only changing locations, not behavior. And when a man operates like that, it's only a matter of time before he starts seeking distraction from you too. Because if you allow yourself to be plan B once, someone else becomes your plan A, and that someone is pain. There's a kind of power in walking away from anything that doesn't honor your worth. There's dignity in choosing not to compete with another woman for a man who shouldn't even be an option. Because love isn't a battlefield. When it's real, you don't have to fight for what's already yours. You don't have to share what was never meant to be divided. When a man truly values you, he clears the path. He doesn't clutter it. He makes room for you in his life without you having to beg, borrow, or steal for it. The biggest lie you can tell yourself is that being chosen in secrecy is better than not being chosen at all. It's not, because a secret love is not a safe love. It's a ticking clock waiting to collapse under its own lies. And every minute you spend playing second to someone else's story is a minute stolen from the life you were meant to build in full light, with someone who proudly holds your hand in front of the world. If a man truly wanted you, he would come correct, not come confused. And if he's confused, it's not your job to help him figure it out. It's your job to step back and figure out why you were even entertaining being anything less than the main chapter in your own book. If he's lying to her, he'll lie to you too. It's that simple. There's no magic spell that turns a dishonest man into an honest one just because he starts whispering sweet nothings in your ear. If he has the courage to look another woman in the eye every day, share a home or a relationship with her, eat her food, sleep beside her, and still cheat, what makes you think you're the one he'll suddenly tell the truth to? What makes you believe you're the exception to his character? A man who has already decided that deception is acceptable has crossed a line within himself. That's not a line most people come back from easily. Once a man teaches himself to lie to someone who loves him, he doesn't need to relearn truth for the next woman. No, he'll simply perfect his technique. He's practiced now. He knows what to say. He knows how to time the texts. He knows how to silence the phone. He knows how to show up for you while someone else is waiting on him to come home. And if you allow it, if you ignore the red flags just because it feels good in the moment, you are volunteering for heartbreak in advance. You may think he's opening up to you, being vulnerable, telling you things he can't tell her. You may believe that you've got a deeper connection, that you're the one he really sees. But the truth is, he's telling you exactly what he needs to say to keep you around. That's not transparency. That's manipulation in a tuxedo. That's dishonesty dressed in charm. You think you're different. You think you're special. But if you strip away the flattering words, what are you really getting? A man who's proven he can't be trusted. A man who won't be honest with the woman he made a commitment to. A man who's playing two games and calling it love. Let's be real. If he can kiss her and then text you, "I miss you," that's not love. That's performance. That's a man treating emotions like a buffet, picking and choosing what satisfies him in the moment. You are not dessert on his plate. You are not the sweet distraction after the main course of responsibility. You are a whole meal, a full course, a table he should be preparing for with loyalty and honesty. But instead, he's jumping from plate to plate like a man with no appetite for truth. And here's the catch. When a man lies to the woman he's with and pursues you, he is showing you his truest self, not his best self. That's not his representative. That's not his cover story. That's who he really is when he thinks no one is watching. And if you welcome him in, if you build a connection off his betrayal, don't be shocked when that same behavior turns on you. Because it will. One day you'll be the one waiting for his call. One day you'll feel that sinking feeling in your gut when he doesn't answer, when he disappears for hours, when his excuses start sounding familiar. And it won't feel so romantic then. Women get caught up in potential. You see who he could be if only things were different. You hear his complaints about how unhappy he is, how disconnected he feels at home, how he never meant to fall for you. That language sounds seductive when you're craving connection. But look at his actions. His unhappiness doesn't drive him to integrity. It drives him to sneakiness. That's not the blueprint of a man preparing for something real. That's the pattern of someone who avoids growth by jumping from one emotional safety net to another. The same way he hides things from her, he will hide things from you. Maybe not now, Maybe not while the affair is fresh and the thrill is high, but give it time. When real commitment enters the picture, when expectations rise, when truth becomes a requirement, that's when you'll see what he's really made of. And if he's made of lies, you'll feel them before you ever hear them. A man who seeks you while lying to another woman is telling you that deception is part of his language. And unless he chooses to change, unless he does the work to rebuild his character from the inside out, he will speak that same language to you too. The translation may change, the delivery might feel softer, but the message will always be the same. I will do what's easiest for me. I will take what feels good now, and I will avoid the truth as long as I can. And you deserve better than that. When a man has a woman at home and still comes looking for you, what he's offering is not love. It's pieces of a life that isn't even his to give. And the moment you start accepting those pieces, you begin to shrink yourself for someone who doesn't even have the courage to be whole with the woman he already chose. You deserve more than that. You deserve the kind of love that doesn't hide behind late night texts, that doesn't whisper behind closed doors, that doesn't vanish when the phone rings and he has to pretend you don't exist. A man who is already committed cannot offer you completeness. His time is shared, his heart is divided, and his truth is twisted to keep his secret safe. You're not getting the full story. You're getting the edited version, the one designed to keep you engaged while he continues to live a double life. He may tell you that things are rough at home, that she doesn't understand him, that the relationship is over in everything but name. But here's the truth. If it were really over, he'd have left. If he really respected you, he would have never put you in the position to be a shadow. You're not a side character in someone else's drama. You are the main character in your own story, and you should never have to beg for center stage. What happens when you accept a man in fragments is that you learn to live on breadcrumbs and call it a meal. He gives you just enough affection to keep you hooked, just enough time to make you feel chosen, and just enough hope to believe maybe, just maybe, one day he'll leave her for you. But that day rarely comes. And if it does, it's not the victory you imagine, because a man who will betray for you will eventually betray you too. Relationships are built on presence, on commitment, on consistency. You're not just supposed to be someone's emotional crutch. You're not a rescue mission. You're not here to fix the parts of him someone else broke, especially not while he's still breaking someone else. That's not healing, that's hypocrisy, and deep down, you know it. There's a part of you that cringes every time he cancels a plan last minute. A part of you that goes silent when someone asks, "Are you seeing anyone?" Because your answer lives in a corner, you're too embarrassed to speak out loud. You deserve to be claimed in daylight, not hidden in the shadows. You deserve to walk into a room and be introduced proudly, not to wait in parked cars or hotels far from his neighborhood. You deserve holidays, not excuses. Real love doesn't come with shame as its price tag. Real love walks boldly, stands tall, and doesn't require you to erase yourself to fit into the life of someone who already made promises to someone else. The truth is, when a man gives you pieces of himself, he trains you to settle for less. At first, it might feel thrilling being the one he runs to, being the escape from his complicated world. But what you don't realize is, while you're busy giving him emotional support and intimacy, he's still going home to someone else's bed, someone else's dinner table, someone else's family photos. And you're left with the silence after the call ends, wondering where you stand in a line he never intended to clear. You were never made to be an option. You're not the commercial break in someone else's movie. You're the whole damn feature. And until you believe that really, fully, deeply, you'll keep attracting men who offer portions of love dressed up as passion. You'll keep being the one he escapes to, not the one he builds with. You'll keep lying to yourself about a future that only exists in his words, not in his actions. It's not your job to wait for someone to choose you when they've already chosen someone else. It's not your job to compete, to prove, to earn love from someone who's showing you by his behavior that he can't even honor what love is supposed to mean. Because love is not a secret. Love doesn't lie. Love doesn't cheat. Love doesn't divide its loyalty. And love doesn't ask you to sacrifice your worth for the sake of temporary attention. You are not here to pick up the pieces a broken man tosses at your feet. You are here to be loved in full, to be seen in whole, and to be honored like the prize you are. Anything less is not love, it's manipulation, dressed in charm. And when you finally understand that, you won't just walk away. You'll rise because queens don't settle for leftovers. What starts in secrecy ends in suffering. That's the truth people don't want to say out loud, because the fantasy is louder than the reality. In the beginning, it feels exciting, the stolen moments, the flirty texts, the calls he makes late at night when she's not around. You tell yourself, he must really like me if he's risking all this. But what you don't see is the trap being set not by him, but by your own belief that something real can grow out of dishonesty. Lies are the soil, and nothing strong ever grows in bad ground. You may feel like you've got his heart, but you're really just holding his escape route. People think secrecy is romantic. They confuse being hidden with being desired. But when a man asks you to keep things quiet, when he avoids posting you, showing up with you, claiming he's not protecting your bond, he's protecting his lies. And every time you agree to stay in the dark, you dim your own light. You become part of a secret that will eventually betray you. Because what starts off as, just until I figure things out, turns into, you knew what this was. And that's where the heartbreak begins, when he's done hiding, and you're the one still waiting in the shadows. The worst pain isn't being left, it's being used. A man who comes to you while still attached to someone else isn't searching for love, he's avoiding accountability. He's running from something, not toward you. Maybe it's the arguments he's having or the boredom he's feeling. But understand this, he's not looking for a partner, he's looking for a distraction. And when people use you to escape their reality, they never stay. They come to you with stories of how bad it is at home, how misunderstood they are, how unhappy they've become. But when it's time to choose courage over comfort, they retreat. They go back to what they know and leave you holding a heart that was never fully offered. It always feels different in the beginning. You feel like you've got something unique, something rare. He tells you no one makes him feel the way you do. But you're not hearing the whole sentence. What he really means is no one lets him run from his truth the way you do. He's not staying because he's in love. He's lingering because you're convenient, and the longer you entertain a secret relationship, the more you betray your own worth. You begin to compromise your standards just to keep moments. You settle for silence just to feel seen. But deep down, you know you're losing pieces of yourself while trying to build something with someone who won't even stand beside you in the light. Pain doesn't always show up with a loud bang. Sometimes it slips in quietly through delayed replies, missed birthdays, unkept promises. And every time he doesn't show up, you make an excuse for him. You tell yourself he's going through a lot. But what you're really doing is lowering your value one disappointment at a time. And the scary part is, you get used to it. You start expecting less. You start calling bare minimums effort. That's the slow death of self-respect. It doesn't come all at once. It chips away at you with every lie you choose to believe. Every time you silence your voice to keep a man who won't even make noise for you in public, you hurt yourself. Every time you excuse bad behavior because you want to believe there's something special between you two, you lie to yourself. Every time you believe you're the exception, the one he'll finally change for your gambling your peace for a fantasy he probably never intended to make real. And the longer you play that role, the harder it becomes to walk away. But it doesn't make it any less necessary, because what begins with secrets will end in shame, confusion, and the question that never leaves your mind, was I ever enough? You always were. But when you accept stolen love, you reduce your value. You shrink yourself to fit into a space that was never built for someone like you. Love doesn't hide, real men don't lie, and anything that's worth keeping doesn't start with betrayal. It's easy to believe in potential, but potential won't hold you at night. Potential won't choose you in the daylight. What you deserve is not someone else's man whispering promises in the dark. What you deserve is someone free, open, present, and proud to say, "She's mine." Secrets feel sweet in the beginning, but they will always rot into suffering, because you can't build a forever on someone else's lies. You can only lose yourself trying. If a man is already committed to someone else and still comes looking for you, you need to understand something straight from the gate. You are not the backup plan. You are the distraction, and that is not a compliment. It's not romantic. It's not a fairy tale in the making. It's a red flag wrapped in a sweet voice and temporary attention. Because when a man steps out of a relationship to seek someone else, he's not coming to build something with you, he's coming to break something inside you, and he'll do it with charm and confusion. This man isn't choosing you because he sees forever with you. He's choosing you because he sees a moment where he can feel something new, something different, something that feeds his ego without requiring the discipline of commitment. He sees you as a pause button on his problems, not a path to a better life. He's not trying to escape his relationship, he's escaping accountability. He doesn't want to fix what's broken, he wants to forget what's broken, and you're the temporary amnesia. You are not a woman he plans to build with, no matter what sweet nothings he whispers when it's convenient. He's not bringing you into his life, he's bringing you into his lie. He's not offering you love, he's offering you borrowed time. And that's not love, baby. That's a transaction based on his needs, not your value. You become a bandage for a wound that isn't even yours to heal, and while you're holding him together, he's tearing you apart. There's something dangerous about feeling chosen by someone who's already chosen someone else. It feels like a win, like you're special, like you've got something she doesn't. But let's be real. If he really valued you, he wouldn't put you in a situation where you have to share what's supposed to be sacred. If you have to keep it a secret, if you only see him on his terms, if his love has an expiration date every night when he goes home, then you're not being cherished. You're being used. And deep down, you already know that. Because the truth is, if you were the one he truly wanted, he'd be with you, not visiting you in pieces, not texting you in the dark, not making excuses for why his life is too complicated to give you the respect you deserve. You are not here to play therapist, healer, savior, or side note. You are not a side character in someone else's drama. You are the main event in your own life, And letting a man turn you into a detour from his responsibilities will only lead you into emotional traffic with no exit in sight. And let's be real clear, if he's cheating on her with you, that tells you more about him than it does about her. It tells you what he's capable of, and you are not the exception to that capability. You're the current audience. And eventually, when the thrill fades and he gets bored or gets caught, you'll be the chapter he conveniently forgets to mention. You are not a secret worth keeping. You are a queen worth honoring, and queens don't settle for late night apologies and halftime love. Every time you say yes to a man who's already spoken for, you're saying no to your own worth. You're choosing to stand in the shadows of someone else's story instead of writing your own in bold letters. You're giving your energy, your body, your time to someone who can't even give you honesty, and that's not power, that's not romance, that's not destiny, that's a setup for heartbreak disguised as attention. Don't fall for the illusion. You are not the remedy for his regrets. You are not the escape from his boredom. You are not the excitement he's missing. You are the light he doesn't deserve to dim. A real man won't approach you while he belongs to someone else. And if he does, he's already told you everything you need to know, not about his intentions, but about his integrity, and that, more than any sweet word he speaks, is what you need to listen to.